Urgent, topical, and timely. Power Breakfast with Tessa Dooms, 6 to 9 a.m.
The time is 8:43 on Power Breakfast with Tessa Dooms this morning. And in studio, we have with us Adam Howard. I almost said Howick. Yo, guys, my English runs.
It's a difficult name. Hi, Tessa.
Listen, Adam, every name for me can be difficult. My tongue doesn't really like talking. It's an occupational hazard. But Adam Howard is with us this morning to talk about a mash-up, as it were, a collaboration and a bringing together, a marriage of Amapiano and jazz. A collaboration here brewing between Calvin Momo and Adam Howard to see how do we bring these two genres together. So Adam, what made you guys think about this what people would think is an ambitious project?
Well, this is Red Bull Symphonic we're talking about. So it's the mashup between the two worlds of Amapiano and the Symphony Orchestra. So Red Bull Symphonic is a worldwide thing that Red Bull does. Rick Ross did it with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. Many different countries have their own Red Bull Symphonic. And the thing about Red Bull Symphonic is to mash together two worlds that necessarily wouldn't be usually seen together. Yeah. And in this country, the genre is Amapiano. Last year, we did Red Bull Symphonic with Cabza de Small at the Lyric Theatre, and that was sold out in a matter of hours. And this Red Bull Symphonic, with myself conducting the Igoli Symphonic Orchestra with Kelvin Momo, it smashed South African records. Tickets went on sale for the first two performances a few weeks ago, and they sold out in 5 hours.
Jeez.
And then we announced a third performance on the Sunday, and that sold out. Well, the first time it crashed CompuTicket, and CompuTicket's used to big demand. And then they crashed the site, and then the next time it went live, it sold out in 3 minutes. And I know that is a South African record at the Teatro. There was more demand for that concert than Roger Federer and Nadal's tennis match a few years ago.
That's wild.
Just to put it into perspective.
I mean, who's the audience for this? Is it more the symphony jazz crowd that are looking at this, or is it the AMA 2000s who are running after Amapiano who are selling out your tickets?
I think it's safe to say it's the Momos out there, the people that follow Kelvin Momo. I think it's the Amapiano crowd that have just gone for tickets straight away, as I said. So I'm really looking forward to presenting a symphony orchestra in a non-traditional setting where we've got a symphony orchestra which is strings, we have woodwinds like the clarinet and oboes, we have the brass section which is trombones and trumpets, but then we have a percussion section that is traditional South African instruments, Zulu instruments, Xhosa instruments, and we try and weave that into our sound as well. And we've got a full rhythm section. The Igoli Symphonic Orchestra was a bespoke orchestra for this Red Bull Symphonic, which will have wings after this concert. And our mandate is to book the very, very best musicians in town and to give an orchestra a reimagine in a way.
Yeah, I'm almost picturing some kind of orchestra playing Amapiano sound. So I'm thinking that's the direction in which we're going here. But what is the look and feel of this in terms of, should I be expecting to jam? Should I be expecting for a party?
Have you got tickets?
No, I do not have tickets, but I have a friend named Adam, and my friend named Adam might, slip me a ticket
I've
or
had so
two.
many calls from CEOs of
I'm sure you become a
big institutions.
Very, very, very popular guy. But I'm wondering, is this like a dance party, or is this kind of a sit down and there's such different categories of music lovers in South Africa, and some people just want to go for an experience where they take it all in and they sit and they and other people want a dance party, and I'm not sure which one this is.
This is the Teatro at Monte Cassino, I mean, traditionally not a space for Amapiano. If I'm right, this place is going to be on its feet from the first few minutes. I mean, this set list that I got in front of you that I can't tell you is a real journey of Kelvin's catalogue from all his albums. And how do we thread? Look, I mean, every single song needs to have its own different feel, and Kelvin's songs do have that. But how do we have a journey for the orchestra? For the audience? And I can tell you, I mean, some of these songs are beautifully, they're so spiritual, and some of the lyrical material is so beautiful. But of course, this music really gets people up on their feet. So I would be very surprised if not for 2 hours, the Teatro at Monte Cassino is going to be pumping.
Let's just think about, the way in which music over the years, and especially in South Africa, has been this catalyst for social engagement, social change, social fusion. Again, when I think about the categories of people who are interested in these different genres, different socioeconomic demographics, different ages, I like the idea of when collabs are able to translate across different spaces. Where is South African music in terms of the crossover effect? Historically, we've had different moments of crossover. The only thing that comes to mind at the moment is that weird Danny K. Cabello moment where we were all drawn into crossover land in that sense. But, is there more opportunity for crossover culture in South African music?
I mean, I get asked this question quite a lot, I think like the first question is like, do I listen to Amapiano? Or how do you convert Amapiano and orchestral music? And I always say, look, even though I speak English, it's just a language. And if you choose to learn that language, so from a very early age, I chose music as a language to learn. At a very early age, Kelvin Momo used music as a language, So when we're talking music. We speak the same language. Amapiano, orchestral music, they all use musical notes. So it's just a very, very simple... all I've ever known in South Africa is collaboration. I mean, working from the early days with Kalawa Jasmine, I was a member of Brothers of Peace. That got me playing with TKZ.
Shucks.
And then Temba Mkhize or Bongini Ngema saw us playing Kwaito music. I said, hey, who are those white guys playing Kwaito? And it's the same sort of conversation now, 25 years later. People are so shocked when they see this sort of collaboration. And music is the international language. It is a cliche, but it's so true. And music, more than anything, brings people together. And I've seen that with my very own eyes. Back in the days of playing in clubs with, Oskido and Bruce Dope, and now sharing the stage with Kabza de Small and Kelvin Momo, it's the same things. People love it when music brings people together and different genres together as well. And that's what we're going to be doing at Red Bull Symphonic.
So, you mentioned names that I haven't thought about in so long.
I played with TKZ 2 weeks ago at the Cape Town International Jazz Festival. We rocked the place. I mean, Shibobo at the end. I mean, come on. I mean, that's more than 25 years old.
Absolutely. This morning, Power Up that precedes our show was looking at some Kwaito, the re-emergence of some Kwaito music, the nostalgia of Kwaito. And I kept saying to them this morning, this is what South African music has always done well, has invented genres. I don't think that the invention of genres happens as readily around the world as I've seen it happen just in the last 20 to 30 years in South Africa. Why is it that we're not cementing this industry around the world as the thing that we offer globally? I think about the Hollywoods and the Nollywoods that have, taken up that space in terms of film, and the industry lives and breathes in some of these countries. We've got so much to offer when it comes to music and creativity in this country. Why are we not just readily taking the world by storm?
Well, I beg to differ. I think we are taking the world by storm. Look what Black Coffee did at Madison Square Gardens last year. He's won a Grammy. Yeah. He owns a club in Ibiza. I mean, look at what Kabza is doing with Maphorisa. They did an Amapiano festival in London, in Hyde Park, I believe, and there was 10,000 people there, and you can get tickets. So I would say we are taking over the world. People have always loved our house music, and sometimes I get shut down for, hey, Amapiano is not house music. It's the second cousin twice removed of house music. I mean, Kwaito is also, they're all children's of grandfathers and parents of all these different genres. And yes, you're right, though. This country has got a knack of inventing things. We're so unique in our sounds in South Africa. And that's from Kwaito into Amapiano. You'll hear now it's being used all around the world. So I think Amapiano has already taken the world by storm.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just talking about it at an industry level. I think the world doesn't just think immediately, let's go to South Africa for music in the way that you think about, let's go to Hollywood for movies. And I just think we're maybe underplaying, underselling ourselves, definitely underinvesting in ourselves. But I think that there are these opportunities, these moments that remind us how amazing we can be and what contribution we can make to the world.
I mean, I had PJ Morton in the studio last year. He recorded an old album in Africa, in Egypt, I think Morocco and South Africa. And I think it's been known for years and years, where you come to South Africa to get inspired. I mean, Graceland's a classic example, and all the way through to guys that are still coming over from overseas to get the flavour of South African musicians. I've always said I think the music industry in South Africa is so open to musicians. You get very boxed in a place like London, and I found that when I was working in London. And I find that South Africa, if you've got the mindset, you can do anything that you want to musically. I think it's a very open industry.
Well, this is my call to the Minister of... what's it called now? Sports, arts, and culture. Sports, arts, and culture. To really start making those investments into this. I think that the creative economy has opportunities for many things, but particularly getting young people working in this space, getting value for it, and being able to build careers. Because I think, as this project and others show, our creative impetus is high.
Definitely.
So we are looking forward, Adam, to seeing more of these kinds of collaborations, and we appreciate you and Calvin coming together and making magic.
Great, thank you. We can't wait. It's in a few weeks' time, so
Yeah.
You can't get tickets, sorry, but we can talk about it. But you will be able to watch us online on Channel O. They're going to be filming this as well, so even if you don't get a chance to see the concert, then it's going to be online for everybody to see.
Yeah, so follow that one up. Imagine an orchestric Amapiano. At least there'll be a piano involved this time.
There'll be a few pianos.